Democrats haven't felt this badly since Biden bombed the debate. The party is leaking like crazy. Anxiety, despair is the mood in Washington. The Harris campaign is stuck in the mud. And behind the scenes, Democrats are worried she stalled and her so-called lead has evaporated.
Vice President Kamala Harris had a 5-point lead in our last poll taken a month ago, right after the debate. That lead has all but evaporated, Willie. Take a look at this new head-to-head matchup, 48% to 48%. That is what we call a deadlocked race.
At this point in the election, Hillary was up 7. Biden was up 9. The betting markets of Trump's chance of winning is better than 50-50. And the battlegrounds are all tied up. So if the polls are as wrong as they usually are, we could know the winner on election night. Democrats are jittery. Trump's numbers are historic.
And the bottom line is this. At this particular hour, if you believe the polling, Donald Trump's going to put up the best performance with black voters since Richard Nixon back in 1960. Not 68, since 1960. That's 64 years ago. Among Hispanic voters, Donald Trump's going to put up the best performance for Republicans since 2004 and George W. Bush.
The media is preparing for the worst. They're wargaming a Trump sweep. Newsweek is even throwing around the L word. Landslide. 3 weeks until Election Day, and it's already started. The panicked phone calls.
Concern in Wilmington and greater concern amongst Democratic elected officials who I hear from daily, asking me what I know, because they know I know some stuff, and telling me explicitly and through their questions, they are worried, okay? Doesn't mean she won't win, but that's how we head into the weekend, okay? Democrats are worried about where things stand.
Democrat insiders are growing worried that the euphoria over Harris's entry into the race hasn't translated. They say she hasn't given voters enough reason to vote for her, and she's feeling the pressure. Barack sent her on a media blitz, and she said she was no different than Biden. And now the Harris campaign is changing strategies again. After snubbing the Fox debate, now Kamala is going to be sitting down with Bret Baier this Wednesday. All week, Kamala is going to be playing defense. She'll be campaigning only in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Her map is shrinking, but she claims she has faith.
It is easy in these moments of crisis to question our faith, to sometimes lose our faith for a moment, because what we see is so hard to see that we lose faith or a vision of those things we cannot see but must know.
I don't know what she just said. So after calling on the Messiah to scold wavering black men, Democrats are letting loose the comeback kid. But there's one problem. Nobody recognizes him. All white guys look alike, I know. And after Bill Clinton got shortchanged at McDonald's, he sabotaged her campaign at a rally. We'll have more on that later. But Democrats think someone else is sabotaging her campaign. Joe Biden. Insiders believe that Biden still holds resentment over how he was forced out, and he wants to remind people who's the boss. Now, just on Friday, he told Harris to hush up.
The fact of the matter is that we're in a situation where well, we're going to have to. I know I'm going to go to the vice president in a second. She's my boss here.
That's a true piece.
We're going to be. Hang on a second, Madam Vice President.
Sure. 10 sources, 10, tell Axios that the relationship between Kamala's campaign and the White House has been increasingly fraught and awkward. Senior Biden aides are still wounded by the coup. NBC says Biden personally was stung when Harris used the "I'm not Joe Biden" line at the debate. Now, Harris insiders say they need to grow up. They're too much in their feelings. But they hate that Biden keeps bigfooting them. One person in the middle of it says the White House is lacking someone in the room thinking first and foremost about how things would affect the campaign. You know, Biden might want to let Kamala know that Israel's going to bomb Iran at any minute. Just a heads up, Madam Vice President, don't want this to be a surprise. And Harris's handlers are pressuring her to throw Joe under the bus and do whatever she needs to do to win. But Kamala can't do it because she's been a machine politician her whole life. And she's only gotten ahead by kissing up to the party boss. Even though she's kind of the party boss herself now, she knows she didn't earn it, so she can't act like a boss. And she's scared of blasting Biden, even if it helps her win, because no one F's with a Biden. Any Democrat who's gone against Joe didn't last long. Look at Gold Bar Bob. Look at Eric Adams. So the longer she stays loyal, the more likely it is she'll lose. And if she throws him under the bus, then Joe goes after her to no win.
Name something that you keep in your glove compartment. Oh, VP Harris.
Steve, look, I was raised in a middle-class family, all right?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, my mother raised my sister and me, all right?
Yeah.
She worked hard and saved up.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And we had a second mother, too.
Okay. Did that mother have a glove compartment?
A small business owner named Miss Shelton.
Okay, we got that. Something that you keep in your glove compartment.
Oh, a Glock, Steve, a big old Glock.
So they know it's a sinking ship, and the media's been given the green light to ridicule her. And they keep going. Watch.
Campaign has raised $1 billion.
Oh, my Lord. How are you not winning by a landslide?
Yeah, that's a question I scream into my pillow every morning.
Kamala raised $1 billion in 3 months, and she's still the underdog. If Trump had that money, he could win California. But as everybody knows, money can't buy you love. The candidate is still Kamala Harris. Douglas McKinnon in The Hill says Democrats have come to the realization that Harris is simply not a very good candidate. She lacks confidence and is seemingly terrified to take any unrehearsed or unvetted policy questions. Harris is also a member of the Biden-Harris administration, an administration so bad that the party wouldn't let the president run for re-election because it'd be a guaranteed wipeout. And now the party's fighting with each other because they nominated a far-left San Francisco politician out of step with regular Americans. Binder is back to fighting with Kirby over who controls the briefing room. Harris is fighting with Joe. Barack's fighting with the blacks. Harris is even fighting with her own super PAC. When Democrats are fighting with each other, they're not fighting Trump, and they're definitely not fighting for you. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.